Hello everyone and welcome to Lena Mystic, where we embrace our spiritual awakenings by identifying our personal power and authentic selves. I am here to help you to decode spiritual signs and synchronicities so that you can get on your path to purpose. This video is about the wonderful owl spirit animal, so let's get into this. Let's begin by talking about the owl as a whole, like how owls already are, how they appear to the eye. And without, just the spiritual meaning yet, let's talk about owls. Owls are pretty rare to see, and it's not that common to see them. However, I do kind of put under seeing an actual owl, seeing a ring of an owl, seeing an owl on TV, seeing a painting of an owl. All of these things could be signs and synchronicities for you, especially if you keep seeing the owl. It doesn't have to be a real owl, but you keep seeing the owl, keep dreaming of the owl. This is for you. Curious facts about owls are that they are nocturnal creatures, which means that they're usually active during the night. However, there are a few owls that are active during dusk and dawn, which are the burrowing owl, snowy owl, and a few others. Owl hoots are actually a claim to territory. They do their hoot to let animals know that they are there. Those hoots can be heard from miles and miles away, which I thought was pretty cool. So these hoots that they have, they can be heard from miles away, and they are claims to their particular territory. As hunters, owls are very, very calculated, and something pretty cool about them is that they can go from microscopic to telescopic with their eyes. They also turn 270 degrees. A lot of people think it's the full, 360. But it's 270 degrees, which is pretty awesome because they can literally look like all the way back. That's really crazy and cool. Being able to see 270 degrees allows them to watch their prey more often and even potential predators. This is a little bit gruesome, so if you want to skip 10 seconds, go ahead. But owls actually eat their prey whole. They kind of snap the neck or kill the animal first, and then they eat it whole. Their prey could be anything from mice to a small deer, which is pretty crazy to me because owls weigh only about 4 pounds, up to 4 pounds I believe, and knowing that they can eat a small deer is really, really crazy to me. I mean, it's not like owls have refrigerators and they can just store the meat somewhere else, so I'm pretty interested to see how that works. Although I kind of don't want to watch it, but I also want to know how it works. Owls are pretty well known to be mysterious. A lot of people don't know about them. A lot of people don't know what they do, how they live, and a lot of people don't even see them. Some people may not even know about an owl. Like, they may see it in Pooh Bear and that's it. That's the end of the story. But some of us are really called to this spirit animal, particularly me as well. And just the mysterious part of them tells me that you are a mysterious individual. A lot of people may not know a lot of things about you. A lot of people may wonder about you, what you're doing. And if you're not very mysterious and you tell everyone your plans and what you're doing, I think that seeing the owl is a sign to be mysterious and not let everyone know what you're about to do. I think it's so important to keep your plans kind of to yourself until you execute them, except when you reach out to those other dreamers in your life, because seeing an owl, you're clearly a dreamer, you're unique, you think different, and not everyone is going to understand you. Not everyone is going to connect to you. Just like the owl, not everyone connects to the owl. Not everyone is drawn to the owl. So that is the same thing with you. Not everyone is going to be drawn to you or understand you. It's so important to keep your plans to the dreamers so that they can ignite your flame rather than dim it. For the people that don't understand you, they may tell you that your dreams are not possible, or that, not a lot of people can make them happen. But those dreamers will tell you, hey, I want to help you, and I want to invest in you in some way, or I believe in you. I know that you can do this. Those are the type of people that you want to tell your dreams to. So if you've been telling people your calculated plans and everything, and they're looking at you like you're crazy, just keep that as a sign, as they are not vibrating at the same frequency as you, which means that they cannot understand it. It's not the fact that they really don't believe in you, because they may deep down believe in you, but it's the fact that they can't even understand it. So how can you believe in something that you don't understand? I know it sucks to want to tell your parent or your best friend these things that you're doing, and then they look at you like you're crazy and you're like, where did I go wrong? Like, are you not really my friend? I think a lot of us think that people who look at us weird when we tell them big plans, that they're haters, but I don't think that's the case in every single case. I just think that some people really don't understand, and they may be scared to see you fail or fall, and they don't want to see you get hurt. I think that that is very genuine for a lot of people. So don't instantly put them in a group of people that are haters. Just understand that they may not understand you or what you're doing, and they could be trying to protect you in some way. Telling people big dreams, people who've given up on their dreams, it strikes fear in them, and it's a trigger for them to hear someone else's big dreams, because they realize that, you know, when they tried to pursue their dreams, they kept falling and they failed a lot of times. But you're gonna keep going. You feel that urge to keep going. You're not gonna fall one time and not get back up. You've fallen hundreds of times and you always get back up. That is why this dream is meant for you. So if you've been pushed, feeling this urge to do this particular thing, do that thing. It is for you. It is your life purpose. Speaking of telling people your dreams before they are completed, the people who are not dreamers could create this negative energy or around your dream. So be cautious about who you're telling what you're doing. As a dreamer, it is so important for you to notice other dreamers, because that is your tribe. So connect to those other dreamers, join Facebook groups, Instagram groups, whatever you can find that connects you to your tribe, where you can be authentically you, where you don't have to suppress any parts and pieces of yourself. You'll notice that these people are dreamers by the way that they ignite your flame rather than dim it or drain it, which a lot of other people will do. Speaking of plans and dreams, the owl is very, very calculated. Can sit there for hours. Can sit there for owls. Anyway, the owl can sit there for hours trying to calculate what their prey is doing. If that bunny rabbit that they've been trying to hunt for weeks has been going to the same burrow or the same tree or the same farm for the past few weeks, now the owl has a calculated plan on how it's going to hunt it. This is the same for you. Make sure that you are calculated when you go to hunt your dreams and your goals down. Make sure that you are coming up with calculated plans. You're being consistent, persistent, and determined and motivated and inspired, just like the owl is, to get its prey, because you know it's gotta eat. Make sure that these plans are plans that you have thinking of the long term, and not just short-term success, but long-term legacy. And know that sometimes your plans may not work out. Your strategies may not fall through, but that is okay, because at the end of the day, an owl does not give up just because it didn't catch its prey. It still has to eat. That is the same for you. You still have to eat. You still have to reach that goal. So don't give up just because you fall. Get back up, try something new. Don't give up on yourself. Speaking of the first thing about not really telling people your dreams, I found it kind of fascinating when I researched owls, and it said that they fly silently. I saw, I think it was 3 different birds. It was like a hawk, an eagle, and an owl flying. You know, the hawk and the eagle were pretty loud compared to the owl, and then there was like no sound waves when the owl flew. I thought that that was so cool, and literally a representation of how you should keep your plans and your dreams to yourself until you're sure that you found a dreamer who's going to ignite that flame. But I just think that's really cool. It makes it so much easier for the owl to sneak up on its prey. And in a way, your prey could be your haters or that negative energy that might try to eat at your dream if you put your dream out there. Just be cautious about who you're telling these people your dreams. This is a treasure. You don't tell everyone about treasures. You keep those treasures to yourself. This is a treasure. Your dream, your aspirations are a treasure. Protect them. When you see an owl, it's also very important to figure out your strategies that haven't been working. Sometimes strategies work in the beginning of growing something, but then you get further and you've grown so much, it's like those strategies are not working anymore. So identify the strategies and the plans that are no longer working and the execution is just not happening the way that you've planned, and tweak them a little bit. Maybe because you're on a larger scale now, you need to build your plan for a larger scale. You need to be more strategic now that you've built it. Owls are so resourceful, so it's so important that you're resourceful when you are planning your executions. It's so important that you utilize any resources that you may have. This could be people. This could mean your governors in your area. If you're looking for funding, reaching out to your governors, reaching out to, you know, a lot of different people, and even researching what resources you do have legally as your right. Seeing what resources you do have that you can utilize. I think when I see the owl, it tells me that you should always have these small goals leading up to these big goals, because you're going to have to feed your goals and feed your aspirations, just like the owl has to eat. I mean, we've talked about in the beginning of this video that an owl's prey can actually be a small deer. That's like the big goal, to eat something that big, the small deer. But sometimes, you know, you're gonna have to settle for an egg, or you're gonna have to settle for an insect. You're gonna have to settle sometimes, or not even just settle, but you're gonna have to feed yourself to keep yourself going. You're gonna have to keep the momentum going. And it's not even settling. These small goals are what keep you going to your big goal. So make sure that you're creating small goals for yourself so that you can get to that big goal. And that's what the owl does when it eats those insects, knowing that it wants that small deer, but it has to be calculated to get to that small deer. It's so important that you are patient with yourself. You enjoy the grind, you enjoy the journey, because that's the most important part of it. That's the body. That is the life in your dream. You working for your dream is that life. That's that life. I also think about how the owl really slows down its day just by sitting there and watching its prey, or just by sitting there and trying to come up with a plan. It just sits there. It sits there a lot of its life. It's just sitting, taking in information, taking in knowledge, and I think that is a representation of what we should be doing. When you see the owl, it's a representation for you to just sit there, relax, take a breath of fresh air, and come in, let it out, and just allow yourself to slow down, listen. And you may learn discernment in that time. You may be able to connect to your angels and guides during that time, because you've been working so much lately that your guides are like, you haven't listened to not a word that I've said. You've been asking for help from me, but you haven't even sat there to listen to what I have to say to you or how I can help you. So sit there and listen every day. Just try to set aside at least 2 minutes where you're sitting there, and I know 2 minutes may seem like a lot for you, but there are a lot of minutes in the day. Just sit there for 2 minutes and stop thinking, or try to stop thinking. Try to just be in tune with yourself, and I promise you, you'll start coming up with ideas. That is when you learn discernment, when you allow yourself to quiet your body, your mind, and spirit. So now what you're gonna do is start setting the intention to listen to your guides, the divine, your angels, God. Listen, just listen to them. Last thing I want to bring up, when I think of the owl, I think it is so important to study. We all think of owls as wise. I think it's so important to study your craft in the area that you desire to be in. Make sure you're studying your craft. Make sure you're looking for role models so that you can figure out how they achieved their goals so that you can achieve your goals. I'm not saying use your exact plan, but I am saying put a tweak on it. Make it you. You can do that too. You can be as successful as they are. You just gotta put a tweak, be you, and put it out there. Study is just as important as execution, period. So be strategic, focused, calculated, patient, and connected, just like the owl is. Let's talk about the different cultures in mythology before we end this video. The Greek culture believes that Athena, the goddess of war, was very calculated, wise, and intelligent, and she also had an owl. So you may see statues of her with the owl, so I think that's pretty cool. An owl was to represent victory in war. If an owl was flying over your military, it meant that you reached a victory in war. In African culture, it was believed that shamans would hang an owl on their door upside down. That's how you knew it was a shaman. And it was also believed that owls were connected to the spiritual realm or the underworld, and they would send messages back and forth. In Native American culture, owls were believed to sometimes be deceptive, as in some of those owls could be witches. They believe that witches could turn into or transform into owls. And owls were kind of like a sign of death coming near in Native American culture. I'm not sure if this is still current, but I know that it was documented that they believed that owls could bring death, like they were a symbol of someone's going to die. Sorry guys, my camera shut out, but I'm gonna continue going on with Native American culture. Some Native Americans actually believed that the owl was kind of like the Grim Reaper, bringing souls of the dead to the underworld. And some people could tell the difference between a real owl and, you know, a deceptive one that may have been a witch or the Grim Reaper. But when Native American culture thought of the owl, a real owl, they thought that they were wise and very intelligent. Egyptian culture believed that owls helped the newly transitioned and newly dead to come into the underworld, so they helped them basically transition into the spiritual realm. In Roman culture, it was believed that owls could keep away evil if you hung them on their door. They also believed that owls could be witches, and they believed that owls were bad omens. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed the research. I enjoyed connecting to my angels and guides and allowing myself to receive decoded signs and synchronicities for you guys. If you've been seeing the owl, make sure you go ahead and comment down below and read this article that I wrote about owls. It's on my website, lenamysticoracle.com. You guys know I always put the blogs on my article first before I put the video out, so keep checking out my blog and even subscribe to it so that you can be the first to know what your spirit animal means. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you in another video. See ya!